Polycystic kidney disease is the most common, potentially life-threatening genetic disease worldwide. Patients generally develop slowly progressive cyst growth in their kidneys, which over time causes the kidneys to get very large and causes reduced kidney function, to the point that by age 50 to 60, about half of the patients are reaching end-stage kidney disease where they might need either dialysis or a transplant.
I was diagnosed at 20 with polycystic kidney disease, and I just turned 60 today, so I've been aware of this disease for 40 years.
When Medicare decided to cover kidney disease in the 70s, when a bunch of bright nephrologists went to Congress, the annual expense was thought to be somewhere around $400 or $500 million a year. The program has now expanded significantly, where 2 years ago, I think the total expense was about $114 billion, which is about an eighth of the entire Medicare budget. So it's a very huge burden.
The unique challenges we are confronting with polycystic kidney disease is that there's only one FDA-approved treatment that specifically addresses the main cause of kidney failure in patients who have polycystic kidney disease. And this medication, which was recently approved, is only approved for individuals who have rapidly progressing disease.
As far as patients in the United States, there's about 650,000, approximately at any one time, patients on dialysis. About 100,000 new patients go on to dialysis every year, and approximately 100,000 die every year.
We thank you for all of the support and all of the financial support that you've been able to provide to allow us to continue to grow these programs and this research. Some of our labs are working on stem cell research, which is, I think, one of the most exciting things.
I was told you should consider looking for a transplant. That's eventually coming. So that was a shocker.
My journey to find a donor started about 2 years ago, really. I saw my function declining rather rapidly, so I started my kidney campaign. I put together a website explaining what a donor experience is and what I'm suffering from and how my life can change with a living donor transplant. And then I created an elevator speech to tell my story whenever things came up.
It was very much nonchalant, no big deal, and a lot of us were kind of like, we thought he was joking, honestly, and I kind of pulled him aside and was just like, are you serious?
I was out getting the mail, and my next door neighbor was getting the mail at the same time, and I was suffering that day. I was in a lot of pain. My neighbor just asked, "What's going on? You don't look so good." And I gave him my 30-second spiel about, what I'm going through, and he went back in and talked with his wife, and 2 weeks later he came back and told me he wanted to test to be a donor.
She went through all the testing. My wife and I still don't know. She shows up at the front door with all her paperwork. I open the door. "I'm your donor." That's all she said.
Some people were, really supportive of what was happening. Others were just so concerned and so scared that it was hard for them to be supportive.
Donating an organ is probably one of the most dramatic ways we can change somebody's life. Spoken to many donors after they've donated, and I think the main thing is that there is an improvement in their mental health and psychological well-being because they have a bigger sense of their life purpose, I would say.
He's doing great. He has a very physical job. He's a lighting guy in the Hollywood industry, and so he's back to work, lifting 50-pound things and up on ladders and up and down all day and 16-hour shifts, and he's very healthy, happy.
I was 55 years old on my birthday when I donated my kidney. The last year when I was in renal failure was very hard. Elaine worried the whole time, but I thought it was going to be a match. And I thought that was great because I really believed that it was going to make a huge difference in her quality of life and not a significant difference in mine.
The first night of the transplant was probably such a miraculous thing because I could feel the toxins leave my body. Literally, as the night progressed, I had to stay up all night because it was a one-in-a-lifetime feeling. I could feel the toxins leave my body. And then it's really been extremely easy. I've had no setbacks.
And my recovery was good. I think there's a little bit of pain where the incision was. So when that stopped hurting, I mean, I'm a kind of a go-getter person, so I was bored and wanted to get back to work.
The kidney is 17 years old, and there has really been no illness due to the kidneys. My kidney's in great shape. It's really an amazing kidney. My creatinine levels are better than they were in my 20s.
So there have been no side effects for me, physically or mentally. I'm perfectly healthy, and I've had my creatinine tested, and everything's fine.
Center's goal is to provide comprehensive, multidisciplinary and concierge-level care to polycystic kidney disease patients and their families.
We are very thankful for the generous donations that were made to our Center of Excellence that have helped us dedicate time towards efforts of growing the clinic, towards efforts of growing the clinical trials that are being planned and submitted for grant funding.
If we could raise on the order of $1 million or $2 over 3 to 5 years, that could really make a huge difference in terms of being able to get these new targets identified.
I ran my first 5K 2 months after the surgery. I would 100% do it again.
No regrets at all. It was a good thing to do, and it really did change our quality of life.
You know, he's a surfer, and he was back surfing about 6 weeks after donation. He's thriving, and so am I.